For more than a decade, FTI has strived to become the leader in the aftermarket performance transmission and converter industry. We've joined forces with McLeod Driveline Components under the leadership of Top Fuel Funny Car pilot Paul Lee, and now have a larger distribution network, more resources, and more power. Come see us in the pits and ask how you can join the FTI family. It's not cheating, it is the competitive edge.
This is WFO Radio.
Hey everybody, WFO. It is Thursday, the end of the week for WFO Radio, and we've got a big show for you. John Force, the 155-time winner in the National Hot Rod Association, goes back-to-back at the Circle K, 4-wide nationals at zMAX. Won last year, won this year. So did Steve Johnson, by the way. And we're going to connect with John one day after his birthday. Now, he's not down there yet, so we can talk about him, right? I want this to be like a birthday party for John. And so, share the show. If you're a John Force Racing fan, you got to share the show on this one. Now, you see me wearing Formula One gear. That's because I live in the South Florida area. I say Miami. The Miami kids say no, because I'm outside of the city limits. But the fact is, we've got Formula One in our hometown, and we got a brand new WFO radio show getting ready to drop at 4 p.m. exclusively on YouTube. That's right. WFO Radio TV YouTube channel. Subscribe, click the bell, watch it. What's it called? It's called NHRA Talks Formula One. And our first ever guest is Michael Heiner, who is a crew chief in Pro Stock for the Get Biofuel team. Michael Heiner is a big Formula One nut, very knowledgeable, knows a lot of people in the garage area over there. And we're going to talk as drag racers. We're going to explore Formula One. And I know for a fact that there are a lot of drag racers out there that appreciate what's going on in Formula One because of the extremeness and the technology. So if that's you, like I can think of some off the top of my head. I know Snake loves it, right? Do I need to say any more than that? Exactly. So I'll be going to the race. I'm going to be tweeting and going up, pretending to be a social media influencer. So if you want to see what's going on behind the scenes at Formula One tomorrow and Sunday, follow me, WFO Joe. But definitely watch and share NHRA Talks F1, first edition Miami Grand Prix, because Michael Heiner is a very smart guy. And this is pre-recorded. We've already done it. I know it's good. You are going to love it. But right now, I got to tell you, before we get to John Force, I got to tell you about the people who make it possible. You already heard about FTI Performance Transmissions. Those guys are great, Paul Lee and his team. And you heard about VP Racing Fuels. We encourage you to sign up for their newsletter at the website. But Total Seal Piston Rings got a brand new episode of Hidden Horsepower getting ready to drop tomorrow morning. It's all about ring seal, the ring packs, making them thinner, making them have less friction. That frees up your engine's hidden horsepower. Go to TotalSeal.com, find out more information. You can order rings right from their website. And of course, the folks at PhillipsConnect.com, Justin Ashley and the team over there, first #1 qualifier out there at zMAX, Phillips-Connect.com. Let's say you've got a fleet of trucks and trailers and they're over the road. And of course, the drivers do their best job monitoring everything that's going on. What if a fire breaks out in one of the trailers? What if a tire is going down? What if there's a problem on one of the trailers? How would you know? And the answer is you wouldn't. And that's why Phillips-Connect.com is a great place to go. Go check it out, Phillips-Connect.com. Not to mention samtech.edu, Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, and Marvin Rodak's coffeeandgrills.com. Gourmet coffee, roasted fresh per your order. He is a craft roaster I just heard that term the other day, craft roaster. Where did that come from, right? We've been talking about Marvin Craft Roasting for 10 years on WFO Radio. Everybody knows Craft Roaster Marvin Rodak, 817-924-6821. And later on in the show, I'll tell you how to become a VIP member of WFO Radio. But right now, it's time to talk to the guy who won 155 NHRA national events, most recently out there at zMAX. Let him get one more swig of his coffee. He's getting fired up too. Mr. John Force. What's up, Force?
How'd you know I was drinking coffee? I couldn't even see me.
Because
I could see me all this time while I was talking.
I saw you, John. I saw you.
Okay.
You're down there in the ready room. I got a window. I can see. It's not the biggest window, but I can see what you're doing.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on your show. Number one, I love it. You spread the word to the world I live in. And great weekend. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But something that I need to do, I want to make an apology on something. Not what you're thinking.
Okay.
But our sport is growing, and we got new guys in Funny Car, that kid that blew up at Houston. I know this ain't maybe
Bobby Bodie.
Bobby Bodie. Yeah. But what's the boy's name? Is it Bobby too? After his
Bob and Bobby, his son Bobby, he's just turned 20 years old. Yeah. It was his birthday.
He's the one in school. Yeah. And then Mike Ashley last week, or Justin Ashley.
Yes.
Was low ET. I congratulated him. I was low ET there. And new players. But when that race was over, if you noticed on the show, there's a lot of people, and of course you're out there in the middle of the show, that are racing that I don't even know. And that's where the apology comes in.
Okay.
There was some top fuel cars, that Ferrari kid. I don't know him. I might have waved at him. Farah's his name. And
Cameron
there
Ferrari.
were 2 top fuel cars in the final.
Yeah.
That I live in Funny Cars, so I don't know the dragster guys, and I should. But I went into a restaurant called South of the Border, so they know, and I'm not trying to plug a sponsor. I went in there for some dinner with Brittany and the family, and there was a group sitting inside, and I looked at them, and I thought I saw them at the races, and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" I knew they were racers, but I still don't know who they were. Someone I'd never met, and yet what I'm apologizing for is, if you were in that restaurant on Sunday night, Mexican food, and I went in there and I didn't acknowledge that you were a racer that was out there, or that you might have been that one of those cars in the final, I was just overloaded on meltdown, and I want to apologize. I'm not losing my mind, but I should have said something. When I walked out, I thought, man, I recognize that guy. And then I said, well, that's a race team in Top Fuel. I think it was, and they might have been in the final. I should have really recognized them, or they're thinking, we finally get to a final, and this guy don't know who I am. And that's embarrassing. John Force, I should know everything, and I don't.
Disagree.
And I just put Sarah just fell asleep listening to this big apology. Can you fix that?
Great.
Would you fix it for me?
Yeah. Well, so attention, Cam Ferret and Spencer Massey and Josh Hart's team. If you were at South of the Border eating and John Force didn't give you a direct name check that made you feel as if he knew exactly who you were, don't worry, he didn't. But it's okay. He wanted to. This guy's got a lot going on in his mind. Give him a break.
But I know Spencer Massey real good. I would have recognized him.
All right.
The crew chiefs, are they pro stock? Are they bikes? Are they pro mod? All that stuff that we love in NHRA. Okay. I'm ready to start.
All right, let's start it. Let's fire it up, John. I love that you think the show is that powerful, that every drag racer is out there watching and listening, and maybe they are. We'll see in the chat section. Everybody's sharing the show on YouTube. I got some stuff I want to talk to you about, but let's talk about the race first and foremost, right? Number one qualifier, low ET, track record, took the track record away from Courtney. You joked about how she was irritated, and I'm sure she is. The record book. Courtney Force is out. John Force is in. That's a bummer. I know you don't want that, but Danny Hood and Tim Fabrizi definitely do. This was a strong weekend for you, top to bottom. So just tell us about it. How did it happen?
The credit, people always want to give the driver credit, and look what he did. But the truth is, it was Daniel Hood. It was Tim Fabrizi. It was that group of guys on that race car that prepare it, that made it consistent. But it's also Jimmy Prock. It's Grubnick. It's Barlam and Tobler. I mean, Cunningham, this list goes on and on. Savage, all these guys, they work together continually. And we've been fast. We were fast last year. I quit driving over center lines. And hell, I didn't even know I was losing points. I figured I'd drive it right to the edge. I'll show them. And then all of a sudden, you showed them. They took away points from you, and you lost the points lead. I think that was in the middle of the season. So in the middle of it, credit goes to these guys. And that is really most important. But I did have a good race car. But, I was all pumped up like, I set both ends of track record, ran 85, ran 335. And then I come home and I look at the books here and I realize National Dragster, Robert's already run 338 or 339. And I don't know why mine was impressive, but that is a Chevrolet Camaro and it has great aerodynamics. And I know they're talking about all the other new cars that are slick and trick out there, and I love them. And hey, thanks for giving Ron Capps, putting him into a program with your great products over there, a car manufacturer. And I always be careful not to say the name so I don't get in trouble. But you don't care probably. But what I'm saying is, it was a great weekend. And we were just consistent. And I got to give that credit to my guys that don't get any. That's why I was calling out my grandsons. Hey, look at your dad's keeping, John Force, your grandpa in the hunt. So, hey, great weekend. Got the win, for my daughter and for Bruton. I love Bruton. He created all this for us. We got some exciting things coming in the future. I don't want to go down the road. I ain't allowed to talk about it, but there's some stuff that's going to knock your socks off. And I may tell it right here on your show when the time comes.
Well, that's great. And I appreciate that when the time comes. I do not want to try to pull anything out of you that it's not the time. I know how it all works. And, we can do the round by round like we always do and all that. But you told us a story in the media center. You mentioned Caps, right? And I know you guys are friends and you've been around a long time and he's been around a long time. And you're watching him kind of go through this arc of like being a paid driver and now taking on the responsibility of being an owner, something that you know all about. The stress, right? It's just a different deal. Getting a paycheck, signing a paycheck. And after you beat him in the final round, you sat down and you said that he came over and didn't say anything and gave you a hug. Like that kind of thing, that's priceless, John. He's elevating. If this sport's going to keep going, Caps needs to be a successful team owner. Antron too. You've got great experience. But the fact that the guy just gets beat by you and he comes over and gives you a hug, what's that about? That's cool.
He's a class act. I mean, Robert Hite, of course, he's a teammate, and you beat him. He was runner-up, but nobody likes getting beat. But Robert said, hey, congratulations. Brittany said it. We were excited, and I was so out of steam from running. I just wanted to sit down for a minute, and I sat down under the Camping World big old sign down there at the other end, and then all these people coming around like, is he okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just waiting to go up on the podium and shake that champagne and stand up there. And you never have to out-talk the scrappers guy. He is just the best. Okay. But that kid on that motorcycle, let me tell you something. He'll wear you out in the press room. I love him. And he was wound up saying stuff. He's crazy. I don't even know these guys, but boy, can he talk. So I ought to put him in a funny car. But the point is, I was sitting there and Caps walked over and they were getting ready to go. And he just said, good win. And I said, I needed this win. He said, yeah, we all needed it. And I said, no, I needed it for a reason. And he wasn't aware of that, but he just squatted down and gave me a big old hug. And, didn't give me a kiss like I gave him in Seattle, but he got down and gave me a big old hug. And you can tell by the way a guy squeezes you, it's really from the heart. And he said, good job. And he's doing a great job out there. You see that stuff with him and Brian Lonesford and was eating wings and chicken and stuff. I mean, that's kind of fun stuff. Made me want to go to that place. I got to find one. But he's a real deal. And I know he's under the load of sponsor and running it all, but Napa knows him. They knows what he can do. And he's doing great. Him and Antron, and love having them team owners for the future. Schumacher's still out there with his hot rods. I talked to him. Schumacher was down in Africa fishing. You know what I mean? Like, oh man. Yeah, he told me I could go. He'll use me for bait. I'm not going. in the middle of it, it's just fun to Tony Stewart's out there. He wants to win, and he will. He'll figure it out, and he's already winning. So it was a great weekend, and we got the win for us, and I'm proud of that.
The engine change, that to me, that's the highlight, because the team was running well and all, and you said that, and I find this to be interesting, right? Like, okay, so we're going to talk about the birthday and everything, but I don't even want to say how old I am, right? But there are days where I'm just like not as energetic as I am on other days, or hours, honestly. Like last hour I was great, right now I might not be. You said that you didn't have the energy before the final, and that you were trying to look for motivation, and Danny Hood's like, oh, I got something for you. We got to swap engines. And you didn't have time to test fire the car. You didn't have time to do anything. It was like a dramatic moment. And then the car goes up there and goes right down the racetrack. Tell us about that.
I got to give you, I got a little wake-up call this week. And it happened in the last few weeks. And you know what that's about.
Yes.
And I really don't want to get into it. But we're moving ahead. Things are getting better. But I got a wake-up call. And I talked to my own doctor, because I have high blood pressure and I got to keep my blood pressure down. And I find myself like, okay, it's race day and I want to win. And I'm not going to take my medication today for my high blood pressure. And I'm going to get all coffeed up, and I'm going to do certain things that I do, or Monster Energy, everything, if you do it within the realm of right, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And I don't. Because I live to win, just like Robert. And my doctor told me, then maybe you need to find another doctor, because you're going to be. So that morning I got up and I said, you know what? As bad as I want to win, with all the stuff I've been through in the last 3 weeks with my daughter, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to eat breakfast. I never eat breakfast. I'm just coffeeed up and crazy. And then I said, I'm going to take all my medication, but I know where it takes me. But all of a sudden, once I got in the car, started winning rounds, second round, and all of a sudden I thought, man, my brain actually is working better. Yeah, dummy. They tell you eat food in the morning. I always yell, get off that couch, and go have some breakfast. That's what I'm doing. So I know you're saying, what is this all about? The point is that I'm coming out of the trailer, back to your question, and I said, Daddy, say something to me. Slap me like Coyle used to. Take a wrench and hit me on top of my helmet in the car. And I used to go, what is that for? He said, well, because you look tired in there and I'm trying to wake you up. I said, yeah, you're giving me brain injury. Well, in the middle of it, Danny, he don't even listen to me. He goes down his road just like Austin Coyle. And he goes, I said, well, give me something to wake me up. And he turned and he looked the other way. I thought, what, are you ignoring me? And he said, okay, swap that motor. Get it out of there now. We got no time. I said, what do you mean swap motors? We just warmed it up. He said, yeah, and it's dead. And it's like, what is, let me tell you, thank you, Daniel Hood. You got me up for that final. My energy went straight up to the roof. My heart was pounding. Like, what do you mean we can't make it? And boy, we had guys from all the teams coming in there. Sam Prock was ripping stuff off. My guys were ripping it, and they swapped a motor. It couldn't have been more than 10 minutes. We never started it, stuck the clutch on. I said, this thing ain't going to work. And Danny says, it'll work. These guys know what they're doing. And he said, you just go drive it. And I said, yeah, but we didn't do none of this. And next thing I know, went right down the racetrack. And them ETs that are slow, that's because I roll the heck out of that light. It ran 80s every run. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I got to do to try to beat these kids. Because Robert Hyde, Hagan, Caps, they all beat me up, but I still love it. It's just, even when you get whooped, you're out there. And like Wilkerson said to me, what are you going to do about it when you lose? You just get ready for the next one. That's why I love Wilkerson. His attitude, him and Worsham, those are real racers like Cruz. They come from the real world that I come from, only that I go way back in the real world. Okay, so in the dinosaur world. But anyway, my hat on straight. I got to do my job here.
Now you're good. No, that's great.
Did I get Cornwell in here or Peak?
Yeah, man, say
okay.
Whatever you want. But so Danny Hood, though, is in fact the force whisperer.
Montana brand with Proc. I keep forgetting Proc in my interviews. I love him. Okay, and Montana brand. Okay.
Yes. Well, thank goodness. I hope they're all listening and watching WFO. Danny Hood is the Force Whisperer. You needed something, and he said exactly what you needed to hear to get up on the wheel. I like that nickname, and so I'm trying to get it in there. And it's clear, like, the guy knows how to talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah, because he doesn't at all. He ignores me just like Robert Height. But I talk all the time, and I'm wild, and I got a million ideas that won't work, but I've lived that way my whole life. All I'm trying to do is calm down a little bit, and I want to stay healthy. I want to be with my I got new Courtney, I don't think I've ever said it before, but Courtney's pregnant again. She just had Harlan with Ray Hall, the little girl, and now she's got another one coming. She's in town right here today. We're all going out for my birthday tonight, and I told them no cakes, no presents. I don't need nothing. I just want all of you here, my family with me, and Brittany won't be here. So she's back east. But bottom line, had a great weekend. Okay, back to you, Joe. This is your show.
Well, it is my show, and so what we'll do is we'll take a second to acknowledge something of significance. You mentioned it, and let's do it. You're coming on WFO the day after your birthday, John. Happy birthday, Mr. John Force, 73 years old. I know you'd rather not talk about that, but congratulations, John. Look at this. Look at this. Happy birthday, John. We got you a birthday cake, sort of.
Hey, look at my birthday cake. Dropped a cylinder already.
Holes out.
Out.
There it is. Come on, go. Go ahead. It's done. This thing's supposed to pop. Dang it.
Hey.
Garbage.
There's a pill for that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I hear.
You.
It's the same color as your car. Happy birthday, John. It's meaningful.
On my birthday cake.
That's
good
all
thing
right.
It didn't happen at Charlotte.
Exactamundo. You got it down through there, and you won the race. And that's really what it's all about. Like the positive energy that's going through this team right now. You can sense it, and not just that, but through the fans, through the crowd. Through Houston was sad, obviously, the last race there. But zMAX, we're headed to Richmond. Those people haven't seen drag racing in a couple of years, so I imagine they're going to be wild.
I've got a good car coming to Richmond. It's been fast last year, been fast this year, but there was some issues that we had. We don't have consistency. That's what we're trying to find. So this weekend, it went down the track every run except for one qualifying run in the heat of the day. So they're coming up with something, but they all work together. And let me tell you, that Jimmy Prock, Cunningham, they're dangerous over there. You know what I'm saying? And just like Grubnick. But now Tober and Barlam, they're turning that dragster around with Montana Brand. So I'm excited for that. We got new sponsors. John Powers, Power Solar, NK Seeds has come on board with us. So I'm excited where we're going. And of course, Cornwell Tools, I mentioned them earlier. But what I'm saying is I got a race car. Robert has one, Brittany has one, Proc has one, Proc's car is coming around. But now if we find consistency, I can at least run with the bad boys. And that's all I want to do. I want to be right in that heat of battle with them, because that's what I thrive on. That's what makes me alive. That's what makes me young. And back to you, Joe.
Let me ask you this. Back in the 80s and 90s, NASCAR and NHRA drag racing were kind of on I would call it the same level. And I know you had some interactions with, Dale Earnhardt and a lot of those guys back in the day. I'm going to a Formula One race this weekend. It's right here in my city. That's why I'm wearing the shirts and kind of celebrating it. They got like hundreds of millions of fans that watch that sport. And I really think that we can steal some of them, or certainly borrow some of them, or get them interested in what we do, right? Because the cars are so extreme and fast. Just they might not know about it. That's why I'm wearing the gear, right? I want to get on YouTube and have some Formula One fans.
Uniform.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What's your exposure to Formula One been at all over your career? Do you know anything? Do you know anybody? Have you connected with anybody? Have you had any?
I've met some drivers over the years. Didn't Juan Pablo come from F1?
Yes.
We had a run-in together over some disagreement. He don't even remember what it was. He don't even know who I was. But in the middle of it, that's a worldwide deal, and it's big, it's huge. And now it's coming over here in some of our markets. But they do what they do on a road course or an oval, and IndyCar, They do the same thing on a road course or an oval. We do 4 wide, a few tracks of Brutons, and then we do quarter mile. It's side by side, 10,000 horsepower in each lane, nitromethane fire belching out the pipes, runs at over 335, and ETs at less than 3 seconds in 1,000 foot.
Yeah,
that is PT Barnum at its best. So I'm not taking anything, from F1 or IndyCar. My son-in-law, Graham Rahal, and his dad, Bobby, are over there. And you know what was cool? Bobby Rahal called me and said, "Good job, old man." And that was pretty cool when a guy that won the Indy 500 will call you. And Graham called me, and it was like Graham was in the middle of a race, but they all call because they care. And that's what's important. So we got to take care of all the sports. We got to cross them over.
Yeah.
We got to cross them over. We got to get them NHRA. We got to get them in the stands. The guy that owns Richmond is a racer. He knows what we want. The media is always a fight there. So media, get off the couch. Come out here with us and hang out and see what we do. Get you a free hat. What I'm saying is a peak hat. Chevrolet. What I'm saying is we got to grow our sport. NHRA knows it. We're doing it because a pandemic hit us. There was a time we were equal. Well,
yes.
I'm never going to say equal, but NASCAR,
yes,
those guys, Jeff Gordon, they loved what we did. They used to come to our races and stand on the starting line. But so do the guys today. They're out there. We had basketball players out there, football players, guys that came there with Chevrolet. That young kid you interviewed him that drives that truck series.
Yes, he was great.
He moved to Charlotte.
He loved it, by the way. First time, perfect example, John. Here's a guy in a truck flying up in the air, right? Like doing jumps and crazy stuff. And he said, I didn't know. I didn't understand. I couldn't understand through the TV. This is the most incredible thing I've seen in my entire life. It's amazing.
It's PT Barnum. It's the greatest show on earth on wheels. You know what I mean? And Barnum, PT Barnum, they don't even have the elephants anymore.
No.
I don't even know if they got a circus anymore. But
they have a circus. I don't think they have a
great product. You can go there. Great facilities, great food, great bathrooms for the kids. You can see the show in a stadium type surrounding, and be part of it. And not anybody can be F1 or NASCAR or IndyCar, but anybody can be a drag racer. Grandma, I'm a grandpa, I can say it. Put on your helmet, buckle your seatbelt, pull out on that Christmas tree, and you are a drag racer. Nobody else can be a drag racer. You know what I'm saying? My grandsons are 8 and 10 driving junior dragsters. Autumn's driving Super Comp now. Down there with Torrence testing in Texas with Robert Hyde, Billy Torrence, trying to help her. By the way, the Torrence family is just great people. I really love them. And just, Steve comes over and hugs Brittany and tells her happy birthday. Hey, I saw that. Thank you. That sure was good cake. I'm going to go eat that whole cake when I leave here. But we got great racers in the network. I got to see Shirley Muldowney at the races, one of the greatest of all time. Shirley was there and come over and gave me a big old hug and everything.
Really?
Yeah. And she's probably thinking, I hope you're awake for the final. I will be there, Shirley. But what I'm getting at is these are histories there with the Perdomes and Gartlets and so much. Now there's even electric cars out there. I love combustion motors. That's what we do. But Chevrolet's coming with combustion motors. But you know what was cool? I was able to say in an interview that, hey, all these other great looking cars and new aerodynamics, you can't beat that. Chevrolet Camaro just ran 335 and set the record here. Best aerodynamics in the world in a Chevrolet. So God bless them all. We need them all to make it work. But I sell Chevrolets, and that's what Robert does, and Proc and Brittany. How's that for a commercial?
That's great. Well, that's what we need. And listen, cars, like, we love them. It's the freedom of mobility, getting out, going somewhere, getting out on the road with the fam, enjoying life. Speaking of which, we're going to let you enjoy yours, John. This could go on forever, but we're going to let you go eat your cake, right? Happy birthday to you. I do want to let everybody know that I have done some research, and at Richmond, you mentioned Tommy and Judy Franklin and their track up there.
Yep.
They've got the most advanced LED light system on the tour, and there's going to be like a light show before Q3, 7:15 on Friday night, where the lights are going to be going on and off and pulsing and going in coordination with the tree and everything. It's going to be great. Kind of a special, like, added thing going on at the track next Friday night. It's going to be awesome. Hopefully everybody will get out there and go. John, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Say hi to everybody, and I will see you in Richmond. And again, happy birthday.
Don't forget Baldwin Filters, but I want to tell you this. The family that owns that track, they're racers, and they're fans of racing, and they love it. I see them out there with their kids and stuff going around, or grandchildren, whatever they were. They're all over the place. They love us coming there. So media, get out there and get us. Help us promote this race. And F1 and IndyCar, God bless you guys, and NASCAR. But drag racing is what I live, and I will die for. And I don't have no death wish. I love it, but I want to be here forever. And the good Lord's going to see to that.
Hopefully so. And definitely, as long as we get to be out there, we're going to be drag racing. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Tell Sarah I said thank you as well. Enjoy your birthday dinner. 155 wins. That's insanity. And you've done it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Sarah. Let's make America great again.
There you go. There you go. Bye, John. There he goes. All right. How about John Force? Oh, my goodness. This guy is amazing. And he wins 155 national event wins. 155. That is pure insanity. All right, guys, your thoughts and comments in the comments section. We definitely want you to share the show. We've got a new show coming out at 4 o'clock today, 4 o'clock, YouTube only, WFO Radio TV, called NHRA Talks Formula One. As a lot of people are asking me, are you going to the race? I am going to the race. And if you want to follow me and on my adventures at the race, like I got some interesting perspectives. They built a marina there. They've got all the corners done. It's going to be really special. The co-host of the show is Michael Heiner today. Michael Heiner from the Get Biofuel Pro Stock team, very knowledgeable Formula One guy. So like and click the bell on our YouTube channel, 4 o'clock today. There should be an announcement going live at 3 o'clock. We are trying to, I'll tell you, we're trying to trick the algorithm to get all these Formula One fans who are searching for Formula One Miami stuff to watch the show and realize that drag racing is just as extreme, if not more extreme, and that we have respect and that they should have respect. And we're going to gain a whole bunch of their fans. That's my plan. You think it'll work? You think it'll work? Let's hear your comments in the comment section. In the meantime, let me tell you about the people who make it possible for me to go WFO each week, like Samtech. Are you the next generation of engine builder, of CNC programmer, of motorsport EFI tuner? You an engine shop guy? Do you want to be? That's what Samtech is all about. Samtech.edu. Give him a call. Call Brian Massengill. Tell him you heard about it on WFO Radio. Highly recommended. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School. Maybe you want to become a professional race car driver like John Force, or maybe you want to just have the thrill of driving a dragster. Courses start at $399. You can get out there and you can spend half a day with Frank Hawley driving dragsters. You can even set up a race. Maybe you've got an office or a sales team or a group of clients or customers that you want to reward. FrankHawley.com. And then there's Marvin Rodak, 817-924-6821. I'm coffeeed up too. John is speaking. He's preaching to the choir out there. I always love a little coffee. What is it? Craft roasting coffee? Yeah. Marvin Rodak's been doing that for 100 years. Call Marvin, 817-924-6821, and you can get it full bean or you can get it ground, fresh per your order. Plus, he's got barbecue tips and tools and information. Patreon.com/WFO Radio. You want to support WFO behind the scenes? Become a member. Get some bonus content and get all the stuff behind the scenes that we do. Ignition Show and Monday Motivation and all the things that we do behind the scenes. Phillips Connect. This is Justin Ashley. Justin Ashley gets a shout out from John Force for being #1 qualifier. The website is phillips-connect.com. Go read and check it out. And if you are in the trailer sales business, if you've got multiple trucks going over the road, you want to investigate these guys because they can keep your loads and your equipment safer. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Check them out. Total Seal Piston Rings, the leader in ring seal technology, totalseal.com. Hidden Horsepower is a podcast that we do. Jeff Baldwin is the guest. He's from Missouri and a very knowledgeable engine builder. Going to talk about cutting-edge technology on tomorrow's episode. Check it out, totalseal.com. VP Racing Fuels. I got my VP. This is going in one of my vehicles, but I figured it's like the mic is in the way. I figured I would share it with the audience, and I want my vehicle to run a little bit better. So I got a little VP Racing Fuel. And if you want to support WFO Radio, I know you guys are all using fuel additives. It's as simple as that. Lubricants and fuel additives. Racing fuel is a part of their business, but the fuel additives are consumer based. So you go in there and you sit in front of the wall of fuel additives and you're like, which one should I get? Should I get this one or that one or this one or that one or this one or that one? And I'm telling you to get VP Racing Fuels because they support WFO. Simple as that. And also their technology is fantastic. Look what they did with Camry Caruso's Pro Stocker. Yeah, let's make some lubricants. Let's do some racing oils. Number one qualifier, bang. Just like that. VP Racing Fuels. And then there's FTI Performance Transmissions. .90 racers, big money bracket racers, everybody that's in the biz. If you're using an automatic transmission, FTI out of DeLand, Florida, they are the industry leader. Just watch the big money bracket racing, but monster trucks, mega trucks, all these high horsepower street vehicles with automatic transmissions, FTI Performance, Pro Mod, Top Dragster, Top Sportsman, FTIperformance.com. Go to their website, check it out. It is amazing. All right, let's see what everybody's got to say. Oh, I'm getting behind on the comments. Remember, 4 p.m., the new show, YouTube only. It's coming up like an hour and a half from now. We want you on there and sharing and liking and commenting and thumbs up in the first 10 minutes so WFO can trick the algorithm. Will it work? I want everybody in on this caper. And yes, I'm wearing my Formula One shirt. Somebody asked, how many do I have? I got a bunch. Ferrari and Haas F1. In fact, now the force is gone. This is who I'm rooting for this weekend. I'm rooting for a combination of Haas F1, the American Formula One team, Gene Haas, whose mother just passed away like yesterday or the day before, right? We do something on Ignition called the Haas F1 Minute. Is that what it's even called? The Haas F1 Report. And we have since day one an American Formula One team. And so, of course, I'm rocking their gear. And Ferrari, of course. VP Racing Fuels. Is that Mark Caruso out there? I wonder if it is. It's just a guess. I try to, whenever I can't see the person's name, I'm just guessing by the energy of the comment. CF4 Joe, yes. I don't know what that is. Blake, I wish I could work for NHRA on Fox. Me too. Thank you, Joe, for all you do. Thank you. I was going to send John a message to tell John to tell you a great story, but I guess what? Like a special story that he knows and I don't know? Don't worry, he'll be on again. Do it. Yes, Mike. Thanks, Joe. Monica, love it. Good to try something new and different. Looking good out there in Miami for the race. It's going to be one of the biggest single sporting events of the year on the world, on the earth. And that's why a lot of people might think that NHRA drag racing is competing with Formula One as a form of auto racing, and that's false. They've got like 1 billion fans worldwide, maybe more. And we have like 50 million. We can entice their fans to like us and become our fans. How do you do that? Well, you show mutual appreciation and respect. Like, like when we do the broadcast right before the NFL race, and the strategy isn't to go, oh, NFL's about to come on, or NFL just ended and you're an NFL fan. And so your sport is crap. Let's show you why our sport is better than your sport. Watch us. That's not going to work. How to make friends and influence people. That's how you do it. You show mutual respect and appreciation for what's going on. You show the NFL fans, you guys like power? We've got power. You guys like speed? We've got speed. You guys like big moments, thrilling excitement? We've got thrilling excitement. And they say, oh, you understand what we're all about. We'll check out your deal. The same is true with Formula One. And since they're about, I don't know, I'm going to guess, 500 times bigger than the NHRA, and we're doing pretty well to reach out to their fans and say, hey, we're fans too. Why don't you watch our stuff a little bit? Look, we're interested. That's what NHRA Talks F1 is about. And we're going to be doing that less than an hour from now. Michael Heiner is going to be on, and we just have a nice little conversation. Don't expect the world. Just a nice little conversation about what's going on in the world of Formula One and the track and who's going to win and the races and all of that. Look for this artwork. NHRA Talks F1 Miami Grand Prix edition. I went out to the Hard Rock last night. I saw a lot of different stuff. They've done such a great job over there. The stadium, Hard Rock. All right, let's see what else people have got to say. Thank you for all you do. Let's keep going. Okay, I already did that one. Here we go. Keith Kaufman, support the sponsors and join WFO as a Patreon member. Yeah, listen to this guy. He's right. Picking up Patreons all the time, by the way, guys. I don't know why. Proud to be a Patreon. WFO brings light to a workday. Wow, Mike. Impressive. It should work. The more fans, the better. Absolutely. Well, what is it? Birds of a feather, right? Formula One fans like Formula One for a reason. If you watch Drive to Survive, which I have been, you understand why people who have never watched a motorsport in their lives are learning to like it, because it's well done. So let's just draft right behind them and use a NASCAR term, or slipstream, if we're going to use a Formula One term. Let's just draft right behind them. Yeah, man, it's awesome. Your cars go 210 miles an hour, 220 miles per hour, and are the quickest lateral moving machines on the planet, right? Like on the road, they are the quickest, moving left and right. Nothing moves quicker than a Formula One car. The aliens come down and want to go race on a road course. We got to give a Formula One car the opportunity to race them. But what if the aliens want to race in a straight line, acceleration? Drag racing, the most extreme of their breed. And there's a lot of cross-pollination. In fact, a NHRA Pro Stock World Champion is currently working on the grid in Formula One right now. You want to know who? Watch at 4 o'clock. Miami and Austin are warm-ups for Vegas 2023. Yeah, Stan, I don't know about that. I think Miami's going to be a better race. I told K-Mac about this. Now, Vegas is going to be a bigger zoo. It's going to be chaos and mayhem. It's going to be a bigger zoo. And I would like to go. But I think Miami's going to be a better race. And, you know, the city of Miami, like Vegas has got the Strip, and that's great. I love it. I love it. It's my favorite. I love it. Favorite place. But Miami is Miami. People will have a better time coming here. Just saying. And they'll keep a little more money in their pocket, maybe. Joe and John Force, what can anybody say about getting motivated and excited? Oh, Art, look at you. Great interview. Now I'm going to run 10 miles and have a big smile on my face. Did he just quote D. Trump? Not needed. Yeah, Keith, I'm not worried about it. I think Force was just trying to say something positive, right? And that's positive. See, my deal on that is I don't think there's ever been a time where America has not been great. That's always been my deal. Like my dad, United States Marine Corps veteran, told me from the time I was born, and I could understand, that America is the greatest country in the world because we're the land of opportunity and we're the place where the impossible becomes possible, where a regular person, no matter how challenged, can figure it out and go on to become successful in whatever they choose. And there was never a time in my lifetime that has not been true. So it was never not great. But slogans, you know. He's the man. Good show today. I think Edward Medlin is what you're saying. Talking about the Franklin zoning PDRA as well, who, speaking of partnering with the NHRA, they pretty much use the NHRA sanction and rules. Totally agree. And you know, it all depends on how you want to say things, right? I think Forrest was just being positive. We're getting ready to get business up and running again. I see a new Patreon coming soon. Thanks, Jeff. Jeff, who is Jeff, sorry to tell you about, tell people about your health, but Jeff has been fighting cancer and Jeff is now cancer free. Woo! Way to go, Jeff. It's one of our super supporters out there. How about NHRA building tracks building stands with shade like every other sport? Stan. That's what I say. That's what I say. Like, I think we could increase our fan base by building covered stands and beautiful bathrooms at every track. Every guy that comes to the races has got a girl or two that is concerned about bathrooms. That's it. Concerned. Not saying any bathroom is bad or that there's a line too long. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying bathroom concern, like range anxiety with an electric vehicle, like it's something to think about, right? Well, bathroom concern at an outdoor event. Should I be concerned about the bathrooms? What if I have to go to the bathroom? How long is the event? Can I hold it for that long? These are all real topics that have really happened. You all know it. So beautiful bathrooms. I'm talking with violin music in there. Beautiful flowers. So when the ladies walk in, they're like, oh my gosh, I want to stay in here. Well, there's plenty of toilets. Like, it doesn't cost that much money, guys. It's not that much. I forget where I was recently, like this big bathroom, and there's one, thing on the wall. Like one. You could have 3 of them there, but no, there's one. And so everybody's like waiting one at a time to go in, to go out, to go in, to go out. There's a commode as well. I can't believe we're talking about this, but it's not walled off. There's no wall. So it's one or the other. What are you doing? Inefficient. Beautiful, efficient, well thought out restroom facilities and covered, some sort of covered deal. So you're not out there baking and just roasting. You're 65 years old. You've loved drag racing your entire life. And you got to go out there and you, of course, we hope for good weather. And you're just baking, you're roasting. That is going to be the thing that's going to make somebody say, maybe I won't go 2 days in a row. You know, you can go 1 day and tough it out. Can you go 2 days and tough it out? Can you go 3 days and tough it out? Those are the kind of things that make it possible. Then again, Top Eliminator Club does have an area to escape. But I agree with you, Stan. Me and you, we agree. Sammy, have a great time, Joe. I'll be going to the Indy 500 this year, first time ever. See you in Richmond. Bucket list, it's amazing. Indy 500, spectacle. It's the greatest spectacle in racing. They should coin that phrase. Haas, yes. See you at 4. Exactly. Any other final thoughts? Thoughts on Route 66 opening again? Will it happen? Yes, it is happening. It's already happening. Facebook user, it's happening this year. Go to NHRA.com. Look at the divisional schedule. There is a regional race where alcohol dragster and alcohol funny car and super stock and comp will all be racing there. And it is a trial balloon, a test, if you will, as to whether or not the area will support the drag race. So you should go and you should bring a sign and you should carry that sign around that says, we want Camping World Series back or else. Maddie is out there. What's up, Maddie? You always remember a clean bathroom. 100%. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. Good food, clean bathrooms, price value. People will pay a lot if they're getting a lot. Like when I got that Lobel's prime rib steak sandwich in Yankee Stadium, it was $19, maybe it was $21, but it was a great steak sandwich. And I felt like, I paid a little more than I would have liked to have paid, but I got a great steak sandwich out of it. And I'm here in Yankee Stadium, so it was worth it. It's not that hard. Now, I'm not saying that anybody's doing a bad job. I'm saying this is how to do a better job. And everybody knows it. Let's do it. Let's all chip in for the Joe Castello Memorial Bathroom. Which track gets the first one, though? That's the question. That is the question. All right, guys. Just minutes from now, you're going to get an announcement. Hopefully, those of you. WFO Radio TV is a YouTube channel. We want you all to watch. We're going to try to capture some Formula One fans. NHRA Talks F1, Michael Heiner is our guest host. And I'm hoping that this is the start, like Dr. Surface loves F1. I hear Rob Downing enjoys F1. A guy you might have heard of named Don the Snake Prudhomme loves F1. There's a bunch of them. So we're going to talk F1. Kick it around, talk about the race, talk about the event. Of course, I'll be there. So I encourage you to follow me on social media. WFO Joe, Instagram, Twitter. I'm going to be influencing out there. I'm going to be an influencer. I'm going to influence. Thanks to John Force. Thanks to Sarah. Happy birthday, John. To all the fam out there. Yeah, John was great. Him and Steve Johnson, they used to do like Walmarts together. John comes on with an apology. I apologize. You didn't know somebody. If I apologized every time I didn't know somebody, man, there'd be a problem. There would be a problem. All right, this is the last show of the week, guys. Last show of the week. That's it, except for NHRA Talks F1 coming up in an hour. But then it's all going to be social media. Are you going to be in the chat for it? No, I'm just going to let it run because I want regular comments on the YouTube. Not live chat comments, but YouTube comments. And thumbs up. Apparently they matter. Talking NHRA, baby. No area supports regional events. Just saying, well, we got to. We got to do it. All right, guys. See you next time. WFO.